I can offer nothing. I tell you, we all are in this together. The little you do will go a long way. Alright, I want to welcome each and every one of us to this wonderful program once again. I want to say, Mechuko Kikabiama, continue to bless the people of Biafra. I want to say once again, a very, very wonderful morning to each and every one of us, wherever we may be, wherever you are hearing or wherever you are listening from this morning. I want to say, welcome to this wonderful program this morning, Shava Special on Radio Biafra. Behind the microphone is still your boy. Behind the microphone is still your son. Behind the microphone is still your brother, one and only, Mazi Uchenna Obilo. And I am here as always to do the needful. I am here as always to continue to preach the gospel of Chukwu Okike Abịama pụrụ ime ihe niile. In case you don't know, I just want to let you all know that we are coming out from no other place but from the Holy Land of Israel. Tel Aviv is where we are broadcasting from this morning, and we are reaching mankind all around the world. So I say once again, welcome to this wonderful program this very morning. Before I go further, or before I go ahead on today's program, I want to pray. I want to play this clip. I want to play this clip. I want to play this clip that we may listen to it. I just want to say something. I want to say something after this clip that I want to play, after I might have finished playing this clip. When you hear that what you see going on today, it is the engineering of Nigerian government, people don't understand it. What you see going on today, it is Fulani government that are driving it. People will not understand that. We are too quick to be carried away. We are too quick to be carried away by the events. What is happening? The event of the moment. We are too quick to be carried away. We forget what we are, or we forget what we are doing. We forget that we are fighting for freedom. When you are fighting for your freedom, every single thing will be thrown at you. The gun will be shot at you, which they have done to us uncountable time. Hot water will be poured at you. Blackmail will be directed towards you. Even they will come to kill you. All of these things, they've been doing it to us. We forget it. And we also we forget that this is the line and the quest that we are on. We forget all of these things. And we also forget every single thing our leader have said to us. How he has prepared us, telling us that all of these things that I just mentioned will come. But what matters most is consistency. Because when you are consistent in what you're doing, all of their blackmail, all of their blackmailing, their bullets, every single thing they throw at you, when they are not succeeding in all of this thing that they are doing, they will collapse. And your freedom will be yours. We forget all of these things that he has said to us. All that matters to us is the moment, the happening of the moment. is what we focus on. But I tell you, the freedom that we are asking for is bigger than everything and everything. The freedom that we are fighting for is too big for us to be focusing on the events of the moment. I want to play this clip. Because of time, I'm not supposed to do it, but I want to do it. So that some of you will think about it. Do not take what I'm saying. But when I say what I say, don't just take what I say, but listen to what I said and think about it yourself. When you do so, it will make a whole lot of sense for you. I want you to sit back as I play this clip. Then I will say what I want to say about it. Very, very brief.
And the rest of us, plus all those others who have risen in support of this motion. And I also want to thank my good friend OGD for helping to make it known to everyone that this is a national problem. First of all, I will crave the indulgence of my colleagues to go back to history, because my people have a saying, if you don't know where the rain started to beat you, you will not know when it will have also ended. This matter of sit at home started in 2021, August 2021, when the agitation group called IPOB insisted that they will go on a sit at home because of their leader held in prison in the DSS. 3 weeks later, when the effect of the criminal takeover of this started to manifest, this same IPOB came out and said that they are no longer supporting sit at home, that they will have stopped. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, the genii had been removed from the bottle, and all manners of criminal elements had taken over and now use the sit at home to kill, to maim, to burn houses, to kill policemen and all manners of innocent people. When that continued, by December of 2021, and I need for everybody to know this, in company of former senator and our former deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, 2 bishops, and the secretary of Ohaneze, I went with them to meet with their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, in the DSS headquarters. And there, we pointedly asked him, why did you institute this menace that is crippling the Southeast? He denied and said that the person who is going ahead and insisting that he's doing sit at home on his behalf is somebody called Simon Ekpa, living in Finland, and that he never authorized that. And that actually the person he says that ought to represent him is another person, and he called the person's name, Chike Edozian. We came back from that meeting in DSS, called a meeting of all the leaders of the Southeast, and said, this is what Nnamdi Kanu said, that he is not part of this. Yet, every Monday, what happens is this. A few miscreants, and I use the word advisedly, come out, shoot and kill one or two people, and run away, and video it and send across the whole of the Southeast, and everybody is now scared. The governors we met, all of us in the National Assembly we have met, everybody has condemned it. I need the Senate to know that there is no one in the Southeast except the criminals who support this sit at home. Their modus operandi is simple. It's just terror. I have called the market leaders in Abia and I said, you can't continue to stay away. And they told me that the people have threatened to burn their markets at night if they don't stay away. So this is beyond the citizenry coming out to just say we don't accept it. Because what they have done is to use terror tactics to intimidate a whole region. And we have had meetings with the DSS, and all that the DSS has told us is, listen, these are just a few people. They will come out in one road, they will find somebody just driving along on his way to doing anything, shoot him, and then they will say it is because of sit at home. Take his car away, go and keep it in their den, and later go and sell it. So these are nothing but criminals. So I support this motion, and especially the matter concerning someone who is a dual citizen of Nigeria and Finland, staying in Finland, giving orders, and in fact, giving, I will say, orders that you don't understand why people should accept it here. But then, criminals will always find a reason to do what they want to do. I have also had interactions with the Finnish embassy, and in fact, the United Nations head in Nigeria, who is from Finland. And what she told me was, it is a government-to-government interaction that will lead to a resolution of this, because as a citizen of Finland, that he has a right to express his opinion. But I can tell you, my dear colleagues, each and every one of us has suffered greatly from what is happening in the Southeast. They attacked Senator Kanu when he was doing campaigns. They attacked me. There's nobody they have not tried to intimidate. But we cannot be intimidated because we are in a country that has rule of law. And so I support this motion in its entirety. And when the time comes for the prayers, if there's anything I will add.
All right. As you've heard from this man, Abaribe is a name. He is a senator, and this is what he has to say concerning this issue. Now, I don't want to tear this particular thing that he has said. I don't want to start discussing every single thing that he has said, but I just want to pinch out one or two or three that he said. Remember what I said earlier on, that all that you see happening today For example, let me start by saying, in the north, they cause what is happening to them in the north. They are the one that cause what is happening to them in the north. Yesterday, somewhere in Abuja, they were shooting, terrorists were shooting, and people were running. This is exactly what you see in the north. So for the fact that the east is peaceful, they said because the north is the way it is, and they are laughing at them, so they would replicate the same thing in the east. That is the reason why you see what is happening. Nigerian government is behind it. Now I'm going to prove to you with what Engineer Abaribe said. Of course, you know, those that call themselves your leaders, they all are being controlled. Number one of them, because they make him the head of Eastern governors, or what they call him, I don't know. But the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, they make him the head of the governors of the Southeast. As you can see how he is killing his own people. Let us go back to what Engineer Abaribe said. As he was speaking along the line, he said that they have gone to leaders, and they said this is what he said. And this speech didn't place today. What is Abaribe said wasn't to say. What he did absolutely said. You last time I said concerning meeting the and the United Nations head that is in what is it? He has that's whatever. All of this boils down to government. You understand it? Are you understanding it? This whatever he is doing. It's Nigeria. It is Nigeria. He's in Nigeria. Of course he will stay because you know he will be paid. Their word, it is government. It's government. My question is, what is holding this government to do something? You know, when it comes to do something that is right, they will tell you it's government to government. But when they rendition our leader, they do not go through any government. They make use of their backyard contacts. They rendition our leader back to the zoo. This is exactly what you see in the zoo. I just want to, I do not want to go into this. I do not want to go into this, but I just want to put it out there that you may know. I know some of us already had this. But so, those of us in Biafra land, maybe some of us have not had it. But I just want to put it out there. Nigerian government know exactly what they're doing in Biafra land. Nigerian governments know exactly what they're doing in Biafra land. Let me touch something else. Something else that I want to touch. When he said they spoke to DSS. What did DSS said? DSS say it is some criminals. This is exactly what DSS say. It is some criminals. This is their word. You can listen to this tape again. You will hear what he said. It is some criminals. Now my question to DSS is, if it is some criminals, why are you killing Biafran people? Those you perceive to be the indigenous people of Biafra. Anybody you see that is putting on Biafra attire, you arrest them. You will beat them to stupor. My question is, why are you doing this? If you know, and let me make it clear, in that zoo, there is no information that their so-called DSS do not have. There is no information in that zoo that they don't have. But their word is, it is some criminals. That is to say, they know the people that is carrying out all this crime. This is the reason why I tell you from the beginning, what you see happening today in the southeast, it is the making or the engineer. They were engineered by Nigerian governments. They were the one driving it. DSS saying it is some criminals. Now my question is, if you know that they are some criminals, why have you not gone after them? Why are you busy chasing IPOB, arresting them? Why is that? Why is that, I said? And on top of this, so many people that call themselves Biafra, so many people that call themselves leaders, so many people in this struggle, their hands is tainted. Their hands is full of dirty. Pretending to be fighting for Biafra. But the truth is that they are doing nothing. They are just pretending. They are just pretending. I want to ask you a question. The death of our people, is it not touching you? The situation of our leader, is it not touching you? The situation of our people today, is it not touching you? The difficulties, or should I say, the hardship in Biafra land today, is it not touching you? You weave yourself amongst those that are truthful in what they're doing. And you pretend. You pretend that you're fighting for Biafrans. But the actual fact is that it is not what it's supposed to be. Ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a question. Remember the things that our leader said. Biafra is going to come in truth and in all honesty. And those of them that are not honest, they will not come into Biafra. With that, I'm going to tell you, or repeat that word. Most times I say, history has a way of repeating itself because it has happened before. Only if you care to go read the story. Ask yourself a question. On this very morning, this is exactly how I feel. And I'm going to say it exactly how I feel. To those of them that are pretending to be fighting for Biafrans, but in actual fact that they are doing against Biafran people. They are fighting against Biafran people and the freedom that we are asking for. If you are that person, if you are that person, man or woman, it doesn't matter what you are, man or woman, boy or girl, tall or short, slim or fat, it doesn't matter what your title may be. This very morning, I'm laying a course and I'm saying, if you are this person, you will die a painful death, painful but slow and shameful death is going to come upon you. And what I say, it is going to fast. This death is going to be fast. Fast, pain, slow, and shameful death is going to fall on you. The reason why I said what I said, I'm not going to withdraw it, because in the course of your action or actions, our people have died greatly. In the course of your actions, our people are suffering. In the course of your actions, our people are in pain. Some of them are in prisons. Some of them were killed. Some of them today, some part of them are cut off because of your action. If you are this person, this course must follow you. And make this course without no apology to you, that person that is pretending to be what he is not. I'm going to continue this very morning by saying, Biafrans, friends of Biafrans, lovers of freedom, we all must go back to what holds us together. We must go back to what brings us together in the first place. We must remember all the things that our leader has taught us. That is the way to go. And that is exactly what would continue to take us to where we are going. Let me tell us a short story, very, very short story before we go ahead. What is happening today has happened before. Remember those days, the time of Israelites, the grumbling, the complaining, and the rest of them were too much. Things were happening. Only those that looked to the bronze serpents held up on a pole by no other person by Moses. Those are the people that their life was spared. That is the reason why I say to us that we all must go back to something, to that thing that brings us together in the first place. We must go to the values that hold us together, that value that bound us together. We must go back to it, because in it we will be stronger. In it we will march relentlessly. The story that I was telling, that I tried to tell us concerning the snake and the serpent that was held up, that any one of them that looked up to that snake, he will live. The snake will not beat him or her to death. So also it is today in our time. I'm not trying to tell you that I am a prophet or I'm a pastor or whatsoever the case may be. I am only saying what comes into my mind to dish out. And that is exactly what I'm doing. This same story that I was telling you, if you go to the book of John chapter 3, you read from there up until 15, you will see the story. And this morning I'm going to say, just as Moses lifted up the snakes, not snakes, but snake, in the wilderness, so that the sons of men must be lifted up that anyone who believe will have eternal life. This is exactly what is written. But I'm going to say this morning this way. To each and every one of you Biafrans, it doesn't matter where you are, because I know distance is not about here. To each and every one of you that uphold the values and what our leader stands for, those are the people that will be saved. Those are the people that will get the freedom that they are asking for. I say what I say based on the things that our leader have said. He said, Biafra will only come in truth and in honesty. Because Biafra is the kingdom of Chukwu Okike Abiama here on earth. To those of you who held up the values, what our leader stands for, those are the only ones who will see Biafra. We take our leader as a symbol. Today, when you see ambulance, when you look at that logo, what you will see is that same serpent, exactly how it was told in the scripture. Those are the picture you will see on ambulance. So also it is for us. Our leader is our symbol, because he stands for truth. He stands for justice. He stands for equity. He stands for everything that is good. That is the reason why I'm saying we must go back to all of those values that he has held high. We must go back to the truth that he is preaching right from the beginning. Because with that, there is life in it. With that, I say again, there is life in it. Let us go to the scripture very quick, because of our time. Our time is fast slipping away from us. Let us go to the scripture. Let us go to the book of Mark. Book of Mark chapter 8. The book of Mark chapter 8. You can turn to the 34th. Book of Mark chapter 8. Let's go to 34. And here let us see what he's saying here. He says, when he had called the people to himself with his disciple, also he said to them, whoever desire to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. 35. For whoever desire to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel will save it. For what will it profit a man if he gain the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? For whoever is ashamed of me and my word in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him the Son of Man also will be ashamed of him. Will be ashamed when he come in the glory of his Father. Let me hold it there. Let me hold it there. This last verse that I just read, it is easy to say a lot of things, but I must be honest with you. Each and every one of us, we are guilty. We are guilty to a lot of things. Now let me start to the last verse that I read. It says, for whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him the Son of Man also will be ashamed when he come in the glory of his Father. I want to ask you, are you ashamed? Are you ashamed to be a member of IPOB? Are you ashamed to preach the gospel of Chukwu Okike Abiama according to the restoration of Biafra? Are you ashamed to come from the parts of the world where you come from? To come from, or to, should I say, are you ashamed to be an Igbo man? Are you ashamed to be a Biafran? Are you ashamed to be indigenous people of Biafra? The answer is yes. There are so many people that are ashamed to be the indigenous people of Biafra. When I ask, they will say, I am a Biafra, but I am not indigenous people of Biafra. This is the answer you get in return. I am a Biafra, but I am not indigenous people of Biafra. Let me give you an example of myself. When I was very, very young, very small, in the churches where we attend, they want to go for evangelism. I was very, very small then, very small. But when they say, let us go to evangelism, I will be ashamed. Like, I think about it now, I don't know what to make of it. I'm very, very ashamed to go with them. Sometimes when they are not looking, I will run away and go somewhere else and play. This is exactly how it is with us. A lot of people are ashamed to associate themselves with IPOB. And people like you think Biafra will want to associate with you. It doesn't matter what you think, but ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a simple question. For whoever is ashamed of me and my word, often we say, here on Radio Biafra, we preach the gospel of Chukwu Okike Abiama according to the restoration of Biafra. My question is, where have you heard that phrase, if not only on the lips of our leader and here on Radio Biafra? Where have you heard that? Where have you heard that phrase before? The answer is nowhere. They are ashamed to preach the gospel of Biafra. They are ashamed to do this work. But when the glory comes, they will want to associate themselves with the glory. And the other one talk about the adulterous and sinful generation. When we go along this line, or when you hear something of this nature, adulterous and sinful generation, so many Biafrans who want to talk about it based on the religious pattern. But I want to say this morning, our ancestors, they know nothing like religion. They worship Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiama based on what they believe. And one of the things they believe was Egbe bere ugobere nkesi beye bele nkukwaya. That is to say, live, let me live. If you said I will not live, then these are the values. But today when we talk about these things, they will want to talk about it based on religious way. And I also want to make clear that what we are doing here today is not religion, but we are preaching the gospel of Chukwu according to the restoration of Biafra. When I was very young, I wasn't told, to be honest with you, because they don't tell me nothing. You only learn by looking at what they're doing. That is how we learn then. They don't tell me if I would tell you that they tell me. They don't tell me nothing. Even what I'm doing today, my father didn't tell me one thing. Even as my father didn't tell me nothing about Biafra. When you look at the things they do, you learn. That is the reason why there is this adage in Biafra land. It says, Nnewu na-ata nwa ewu na-eme ya otu ata ihe ọ na-ata. That is to say, when a mother is eating, a child will be looking at his or her forgive me. A child will be looking at her mother on how she is biting and chewing. That is exactly how I learn. That is exactly how I learn. I don't have opportunity to ask much questions. I learn from what I see them do. And one of the things I learned was, do unto another man exactly how you want them to do unto you. Something that you don't eat, don't give it to another person to eat. Be fair. Be honest. Be equal. These are the things that I learned. But of course, I won't tell you that I'm perfect in this. I have my own fault as well. Despite I learn all of these things, there are some children then, they know exactly when we are making meal. And that time, they know exactly when it's ready. And that is the time they will come. Of course, they are not looking for me, they are coming to eat. But then, as a child, I don't like it when they are coming at that time. If I want to chase them away, they will not allow me. These are the things that I learn. I'm just telling you. For you to know. Not when you hear something of this nature, it will be religious, whatever study it is for you. Our ancestors, they live simple life. This is exactly what it is. And if you know all of these things and it is nothing for you, or you're doing otherwise, my question is, what makes you a human being? What makes you a human being? Look at the things that our leader is doing. All of these things that I just mentioned, you will see it in the line of the things that he do. He was in the prison fighting for people that are in prison already. He himself, he is in the prison and he is inside the prison fighting for other people there. How many of you can do it? How many of you can do that? How many of you can do that? Now I want to move to verse 37. I want to move to verse 37. Verse 37 says, or what will a man give in exchange of his soul? With this word that I just read, I want to ask you a question. What are you going to give as an exchange to the freedom that you're asking for? It is a question, a huge one for that matter. The deal that you got with Nigerian government, the deal that you got with the DSS, is it what it is? That deal that you got with the governors to destroy them within, is that what it is? That little money that you're making, is it what you want to use in exchange for your freedom? Alright, quite alright. You make money, fine and good. You cut a deal with Nigerian government. You cut a deal with the DSS. You cut a deal with whomever you want to cut a deal with, in order to destroy them from inside. What about your peace of mind? What about your freedom? Did you think about that when you were cutting your deals? What about your peace of mind? What about your freedom? He says here, what will a man give in an exchange of his soul? I want to tell you, it doesn't matter how much money you make from what you're doing. It doesn't matter how much money. It will not give you your freedom. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you have a friend in the high places in Nigerian government. They tell you on how they will protect. They tell you how everything will be made easier for you. All of those things are lie. You know, a lie will always remain a lie. For example, those that cut a deal with the masquerader, where are they now? Ask yourself a question. It's just a temporary. But your freedom will remain. No one, when you get your freedom, no one can take your freedom away from you. It is a lifetime thing. You get the money, you spend it for 1 year, 6 months, and all of that is gone. But you get your freedom, you can do whatever you want to do with it. What can you give as an exchange to your freedom? I go to verse 36, it says, for what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? My question now is again, what will it profit you? Mr. Title Man, what will it profit you? Mr. Big or small or fat, what will it profit you when you sell out your people? You slaughter all your people, and you get a chicken chain that you will spend for a couple of years. What is it going to profit you? I'm asking this question based on what I read. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own freedom, his own people? What will it profit you? It is a deep question that you need to ask yourself. Do not, for the fact that I'm asking this question, then you take it as a childish thing. Ask yourself this question. It doesn't matter how educative that you are. It doesn't matter how huge and big your title are. This question is for everybody. What will it profit a man when he gains all the money? He gains all the deals. He gains all the friends. And he loses people and loses his freedom. What do you gain? It's a question that you need to ask yourself. It says, for whoever desires to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel will save it. There's no better way to tear this one down than to point to our leader. There is no better way to explain this one. Our leader is perfect. Perfect example of this one. And if I may tell you that this same word that I just This same word that I just read out, I've had it from the voice of our leader. I'm going to read it again. He says, for whoever desires to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake and for the gospel will save it. You know, here, what I'm reading from the New Testament. But I want to put it exactly how it is so that you will understand it. That is the reason why I'm taking my time. Whoever desires to save his life will lose it. Those of you that are running around pretending your life worth more than other people, I want to tell you that your life worth nothing. Or should I say, forgive me for saying that. Your life worth not more than other Biafrans. The same as your life worth, so also the life of other Biafrans too. What? But you're running to preserve your life. But somebody has put his own life on the chopping block to save, including your own life and the life of other people. And Almighty Chukwu Kikabiama is keeping him. What I just said, or what you see going on in the life of our leader today, what emulating. To those of you that call yourself a leader, this one what emulating. When you throw away your life in the quest to fight for your people, in the quest to preach the gospel of Chukwu Kikari that will preach here on Radio Biafra, at the end, you will find your life. Not just you find your life, you will find a good purpose for your life. That is exactly what it is. Sometimes when we read all these things that we read, to be honest with you, I don't take it to be. I'm not telling you it is not a story, but I don't take it a story as it is, but I am reading it as an adage, because that is exactly what it's supposed to be. For whomever that throw away his life, at the end, he will find his life, and he will find it with a purpose. Ask yourself a question to so many of you. Do your life have a purpose? Do you have a purpose? Some people may not even understand what I'm saying. Do you have a purpose in this life that you came, or that you are right now? All of these things are questions that you need to ask yourself. I go to that 4. He said, 4 says, when he had called the people to himself with his disciples, also he said to them, whoever desire to come with me, but here it's written after me, whoever that desire to come with me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. This one here is very, very tricky. You know, for the fact it's written this way, some of you will say, let me carry my cross. You have no cross. But what it is saying here is exactly what you see IPOB do. When our leader Nnamdi Kanu call, make this other call for Biafrans to gather together and fight for their freedom. A lot of, and what is this verse saying? When he has called, when our leader started, he started by calling Biafrans to gather around him. He preached the gospel of Chukwu Kikari. He preached the gospel of Biafra to the hearing of the whole wide world. And in the process, he selected those that will work with him. Here it was written, disciples. And he said, whoever desire to come with me, let him deny himself and take up his cross. What it is saying there is, You deny yourself all of this nonchalant attitude that you're displaying. Deny yourself all this hatred. Deny yourself all of this attitude that will not feel not to you, or not to you, rather, cause you more pain. Deny yourself all of these things and good. And follow him and preach the truth that he has been preaching from the get-go. This is exactly what this passage is saying. Exactly what is happening to us. Exactly what I just read out is our story. It depends on how you think about it. It depends on how you see it. But I just tell you, I read this passage as an adage for you to learn from it. Or for you to learn from it. Please forgive me right there. Biafrans, friends of Biafrans, lovers of freedom. I just bring it to you exactly how it comes across my mind. I bring it to you exactly how I know it. And I sure know that what I'm saying is nothing but the truth. Only that you know will set you and I free. Remove your hands from anything that is not aligning with the standard that our leader set. Remove yourself from everything and anything that is hurting our people. Remove yourself and deny yourself from anything that will push back. Most importantly, ask yourself a question. Look into the mirror yourself and ask yourself a question. Am I doing good to this struggle? Or am I doing wrong? Or am I doing bad? Ask yourself a question. It is very, very important that you do that. For the fact that I'm telling you to ask yourself a question doesn't make me one thing or the other. I still remain this tiny, whatever the case may be. That is still what I am. But for the fact that I am saying it doesn't mean that I am the one forcing myself something caused me to say it, and that's the reason why I'm saying it. You may be taller than me, you may be huger than me, your title may be too big that I cannot even speak to you. But please, listen to the voice. Do not listen to me. Listen to the voice. Do not listen to me. Very, very important that you listen to the voice and not to me. What we are doing, blood is involved. And too many Biafrans has paid for this quest. Too many Biafrans has died so that this Biafra that we are asking will come to fruition. And you are toying, playing with this freedom. The blood is involved in it already. It is very important that you ask yourself a question one more time. Let me remind us one more time. Blood is involved. And anything that blood is involved in, it has gone beyond physical. And as you may know, in case you don't know, blood opens doors to so many things. With this, I want to say, be careful. Be careful. Be careful what you wish for. And be careful where you are heading to. Biafrans, this is exactly what I have this morning. This is exactly how I have it in my mind. This is exactly what I have this morning, and I have bring to you. And I hope that what I bring to you this morning will cause you to change. Nigerian government is humongous. Nigerian government is that old serpent, like one of them say. You know, all the new crowning, how to maneuver, how to deceive, and how to blackmail. You know how to monetize. But for you and I, Biafrans, only the truth that we know will set us free. But with only consistency, like our leader has said. That's how I have it this morning. Exactly how I bring to you. My prayer to each one of us is that this voice that you've had this morning will cause you to change. Remember all the teachings of our leader. I as a kid, I used to say, I want to look at those that are doing it good and apply it to my own life and make it good for myself. This is exactly the advice that our leader gave us. In case you've forgotten, let me remind you. Our leader once told us and said, please forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. Our leader once told us and said that we should look at those of them in Afghanistan, how they fought, not based on what they do, but their character of saying no or no die attitude, their character of consistency in all their loss, in all the relation, in all the beatdown and everything that accompanies it. It continue. This is the character our leader point was that we should emulate that. Not the bad thing that they are doing, but the character of consistency that we should relate it. That is the reason why I told you what I said earlier on. As a kid, not telling you because I want to tell you now, this is what I used to say to myself. As a kid, I want to look at those that do it good and the things that they do and apply it to my own life. This is exactly what I is telling us, and I'm saying it, should I say, in another word, it's one. Consistency is the consistency is the only route that will take us to where we're going. I also want to give something that I already have said before. The reason why I want to give it is our people, we pretend that we know everything. We pretend that we know it all. Some will say, I have my rights. I can say what I want to say. I can say what I want to say at any time, anywhere. But when it comes to time to say all of those things that you're supposed to say, when it matters most, you will not hear them say it. When it doesn't matter, that is when we hear them say all these words. I can say what I want. I can do what I want. But listen to what our leader said. I know some of us have had what I'm about to say. But some of us have not had it. Our leader made a podcast once sometime and said, the name Igbo is caused so many people raise eyebrow concerning that word. But when you look at what is happening to that same word today, you get to believe with him. Believe in what he said. The name Igbo is caused. Anywhere they gather themselves in a mushroom organization, they will keep on dividing themselves and so on and so forth. If I may tell you, to be honest with you, those that are close to me will tell you that what I'm saying is nothing but the truth. This word is hiding me in water. This is the reason why I don't even engage in any mushroom organization. When that name appears, they will be dividing themselves. The reason why I'm saying this is for those of you that are asking, what is the problem? This very morning, I put the problem in front of you. This very morning, the problem is on your plate. It depends on you. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to eat it? Are you going to throw it away? What are you going to do with it? Whatsoever you do with it, so be it. But I want to say, our leader has told us everything. Our leader has given us all the answers to everything. But there are people that things that they know it all, but yet they don't know nothing. Like I said earlier on, Biafrans, exactly how I have it is exactly how I bring it to you. The praise very morning is that you will listen to the voice, but not me, and do that you're supposed to do. So that at the end, we all will go back to Biafra land, where we will celebrate and worship the name of Almighty Jehovah. Remember all the things I said. Our leader said one of the famous words he said, Oga Adra Ukum, but Oga Hawuf. If you are listening to what I said, or this particular word I just said, if you had this word as a child, it will look fresh to you. But those that are advanced in your brain, we understand exactly what that words mean. Oga Adra Ukum, but Oga Hawuf. On these notes, I want to say to you, Biafra that we are pursuing is the thing which we are here on earth. And the gospel that we preach is the gospel of Biafra according to the resurrection of Biafra. I call on you, Biafrans, wherever you may be, wherever you are hearing or listening from this very morning, please join me as we pray. As we pray and commit the rest of the program into the hands of Almighty, that He, Almighty, the Creator, continue to guide our utterances. That His name will be glorified. Let us pray.
As long as we come on air every evening, the whole world must listen. As long as we do this very gospel, therefore, without any hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwu. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from old. Our Father who art in heaven, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee. Offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee all over this very planet. You create, they are listening across the entire 24 sons on this very planet. They are listening to your gospel this very evening. This gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal. This very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation, as only you ordained. That this very gospel was preached, that mankind is set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in this place because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have shed blood, we have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the dark year of ours, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the works of the of darkness, we remain strong today to call upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one simple purpose and purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in Christ. Is there any way we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before the congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of us, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy on us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been enough. We did not do this to anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we present. Our only crime is to your glory and your blessing, which manifested is on our lives. That is why they don't give us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you, to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You have allowed shame to before your name. You have allowed enemies to fight over the lives of your children, because you create your to worship you and to praise you. That is exactly what we have to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and every night, because we remain to blessed day to work and believe your white and white and white and snow. Oh, Moses, is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us? Our trespass to enable us to fulfill your own word which was spoken thousands of years ago. That is of which you promised not come to pass. As the heaven and earth you open your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of the who came here and said, "Let me not count everything in heaven." Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them, and they are Biafrans, they will worship you into eternity. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle revolve our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace. On our command, O Lord, those we call on you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide such those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is division. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. Be a fixed and is on fish, and also those of them from Israel. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Ghana. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to the place of your land. All these places we dedicate on all these lands of yours, which you provide for us. Because Biafra will come and also to we will dance on this and you. Right now we are on humanity will think that we are mad. We are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to earth. That very kingdom is unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the people of God. Your will be fulfilled in our time. How do we pray? How do we ask in all name, that name that belongs to you, and it's still the will of you. He said, my name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous of Biafra all over this planet. I tell you. I lead in indigenous of Biafra. So also do I command the armies of Biafra, they are fiercely loyal, they are loyal and doing the work I expect them to. I also direct the Biafra when machine must do a power which I possess or any extraordinary knowledge. By your grace, O Lord. By your grace, you will have we honor you and we adore you. I know that some people listening in the British will understand what we're doing. There is nobody even answer the child of we do. Therefore, we worship our Father. People should not try to tell us. They should not feign ignorance or misunderstanding, because we are Asian people who have been doing this for over 5,000 years, and we will continue to do so on the end of time. never so Kanu law. Kanu law. I'm going to give you a Biafra will be done. If you get no one, I am not the law. That is like I'm 21st century complex man. And I respect Nanya. I have to give it. Now Africa. Let me go by the name of Ghana. All those states market. Who have all says one. Who have not people. After flower. Nothing was also. You can't have now in Biafra. Who be a man. I got woman. If I was to be in the book. So my man so. Just no nigga. So I have people. Tina like so. Is like or none of them. No need to go. We dick on the line. I'm not bad. Una see the I'm going to go. I'm Biafra. Or by says mine. Leno. And I get and the boys have prosperity. Oh, Chineke. Or got home basic. Or not got message. Indigenous people of Biafra. IPOB with Abanosia. I love Biafra. Okay, because we need all these things since 2023. May I remember, you know, say comprehensive. Hey, you guys, I know money. Oh, Biafra, IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra. Oh, why? No, we need to know. May I Biafra, may don't have nothing. I'm going to see since 2023. The people know about Nigeria. No, can not Ghana. And you can have a family. People are in Ola, Yoruba, in Ola, I was a big of power. They say business. No, Ola, looks like I go. I'm a little and I got to easy. No, I did put in water. They have a Lagos. All the election. Only you let them have it. October, I did not want to tell you. Who doesn't rank? I don't know. I don't want to look at you. I got to one. I didn't know that. I didn't know. Oh, guys, you are not this is oh, yeah, oh, my name is on our and you come on like I want to know what I'm since you did it. I get it. I have British and they don't know Kanu. They took like a power. They don't like you saw no one like no go on. Can you come get I'm not going to get it. No. That's what I now about since 2023. Nigeria since 2023. We don't get the land that go on the hand. A bully better than the people. Okay, they have flower. Pussy, like this in case not it just I people be not room or not Abaribe. This is to ensure that the memory and never that the memory will live on forever. As long as man was this war will never family will take you. Men and women that did not children that were innocent. Their only crime is to live by God. That is only crime committed. Those children that is slower and they have been sacrificed. I can prove up that everybody looked on and did nothing. Instead of them to help us, they ensure that our souls will get from land and sea. Was which we can die. And children die. It's not until to them determines that we cannot die. We cannot live.
I thought Biafra free taking longer. And cause of that didn't feel so low. Freedom is your greatest hunger. I thought Biafra is your heart alone. People are blind, they search with no reason. Let's take it away. Just hold on, don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. Just hold on, don't let go. Your fight just away. Just hold on, hold on, don't let go. Just hold on, don't let go. Your fight just away. History and then no legend. So speed red like open. And then now it's blessed on the people. We shall die alive, want to see. We will touch the skies instead of one night. And real about. Just hold on, don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. Just hold on.
Alright, so it is exactly what it is. Hold on, don't let go, because we have gone beyond the Rubicon, like I said. We have come to the point that coming back to Susan. That is exactly what it is. We must push ups. Here it is just step away. Alright, very much hearing what I was very want to say. Again, very beautiful money to each and every one of you. And you again, everybody think, this very one of money to each and every one of you. And I'm going to program some church on radio this very moment. I want to say this church is social every one of you. It doesn't matter if you listen from you understand that this is not the from presence of the Lord government to go so I say this church is from this from David and you special message of us and share to every one of you. Special message of everyone is going to be your portion. Please pray, I believe, I say to it. Alright, welcome back, alright. Our hand is fast. Slipping away from us, but we'll tell Almighty Chukwudi for strength. Chukwudi for his thoughts. We'll thank Almighty Chukwudi for all that he has given to us to continue to be doing what we do. Sometimes when I wake up, it's very difficult. Some people look like nothing, but I tell you, nothing to see. Or that you had and you said it's something is like, alright, we'll go into and this program and it's very important for us here in just like nation. It's just a way of life. That's the reason why we do it, and we will continue to do nothing but that. And then we'll come to Shabbat special. We always do the nation of Israel. We pray for them because it is a good thing to pray for the nation of Israel because common sense will allow you to do just that. We pray for them because if you look at what is going on, you can if not disagree with me, that'd be one thing. Everything is happening to us. It's just that they have gotten their nation. But the same thing that is happening to you is happening to them. Me and you, we are Biafrans, and we are calling upon Almighty to give us a freedom. We are asking him to do all these things to us. Exactly how we want God to do us. Exactly how we want him to do us. We must start to do for other people. Exactly how we want him to do for them. How we must us to do for other people. And that is the reason why this part of the program where we are is very, very important to us. Even the scripture back us up. The scripture back us up. Common sense is the same. What is happening that you see today is the same. If you have right thoughts and you have a conscience, your conscience will also tell you that that is the reason why I will take us to the scripture once again. Where it says that we should pray for the peace of Jerusalem. If you want to know where this is written, it is written in the book of Psalm, chapter 22. If you go to verse 16, it says, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Let me prosper. If I may ask you, who are those that will pray for the peace of Jerusalem? It is you and I. Those that choose. Those that he knows will choose to himself. You and I will do that. That's the reason why God loves us. It can be all on you to join us and pray for Jerusalem. You see that we are doing something to go on and actually use our bodies for this. We are doing what we commanded to do. And when you do that, you can recognize you. That is more than human being recognizing you. We are not doing for recognize. We are not doing it for anybody else. We are doing it based on what God has done and what the scripture says. How one is also and what is the right thing to do. That is the reason why we are doing it. So please say something. You don't know where you are. Here, listen. Or join us. Please join us to this. It's very important. And join us. And he almighty will only get him and I. Only the way we know for this nation. Pray he always the pray he the creator everything there is. We provide everything they need as a nation. And he as well we create numbers that he always will have. We do all that he asks of him. So that will be the creation that he will. I've said what I want to say because that is exactly what comes out of my mind. Just as how this the Lord Almighty will pray for the nation of Israel. As you do so, in return, you will get. As we pray for the nation of Israel, in return, we will get the same value. Remember, the value of sowing a seed, this is more than a seed. But for the sake of the world, this is a seed that we must sow. If we sow 1,000, seed, in return, we'll get one double 1,000. Because one single funds will produce more than that one piece that you sow. Please, join us to this prayer. And to do this prayer, like always, our mother is always with me. She is on standby. I'm going to go to her. So we have to do this prayer for us. Good on them. Please.
Amen. you are looking at in your